Hi, Studio Recapped here. Today, we're going to talk about a movie called 1992 in the action and thriller genres. Spoiler alert is on. Watch out and take care. You won't believe how much your support means. Thank you so much for your support. In 1992 in Los Angeles, a black man named Mercer, recently released from prison, tries to gain custody of his son, Antoine. Despite Mercer's efforts, their relationship remains strained. Meanwhile, a man named Regan asks his friend Copeland to help him plan a robbery to turn their lives around. The news covers the case of Rodney King, a black man brutally beaten by white police officers. His trial is approaching and tensions are high. Regan's brother, Dennis, is introduced, and the two share a strong bond. They visit their father, a notorious criminal, to discuss the robbery plan and its location. Before going to prison, Mercer was known as one of the toughest guys in the neighborhood. In one scene, some thugs harass a shopkeeper. Mercer politely warns them, but they respond with threats, even pointing a gun at him. Their leader, D. Will, intervenes, saying, "You don't know who he is." D then asks Mercer to rejoin them, but Mercer, who has been living quietly for 6 months, refuses to return to his old life. Regan explains to his father about a safe in the factory containing nearly $10 million worth of platinum. The safe is solid and protected by a metal cage that locks in place as soon as the alarm is triggered. Regan got this intel from a factory worker, but his father refuses, saying the factory's security is too tight and the heist is impossible. Regan, who has had a strained relationship with his father since childhood, approaches him only for the robbery plan. At the same time, Mercer, who works at the factory, spots Regan and his father together. Mercer discusses Rodney King's case with Joseph, the factory's head of security. News breaks that the officers involved in King's case have been acquitted, sparking protests and a massive uprising by black citizens tired of racial discrimination. When Antoine returns home, he sees the protests spraying. News reports show black communities taking to the streets in retaliation, looting stores. Seeing this, Regan realizes it's a perfect time to carry out the robbery. Due to the unrest, Mercer and other factory workers are sent home for safety. Regan learns of this through his spy at the factory. It's time to act. He gathers his father and brother, then picks up Copeland, who says goodbye to his pregnant wife before joining them. Mercer asks Joseph for permission to stay at the factory with Antoine, as their home is in the heart of the unrest. Joseph agrees. However, when Mercer gets home, he finds Antoine missing. Meanwhile, Regan is furious when he discovers his father brought 2 thugs along without informing him. Regardless, they set off in their van toward a factory to begin the heist. Joseph, the only one left at the factory, is momentarily distracted from the surveillance monitors. Regan and his crew tie up the outside guard and drive their van through the main gate. The robbers confront Joseph. Regan tries to persuade him to stay silent and cooperate, but his father's men shoot Joseph. Horrified by his father's ruthlessness, Regan gets into a heated argument with him and his men. Mercer returns to the street and finds Antoine caught up in the riot. He forcibly takes Antoine to the car. Meanwhile, the thieves begin drilling into the safe. Joseph, barely alive, drags himself to the control room and activates the alarm. The metal cage descends. Regan rushes to the cage with a forklift to stop it, but Copeland's leg gets crushed under the tire. Regan panics, but his father won't let him move the forklift to free Copeland's leg. Unlike their father, Regan and his brother have a moral compass. Fed up with his father's cruelty, Regan argues with him, but his father's men steal the forklift key. In the end, they're forced to amputate Copeland's leg. A patrol helicopter arrives in response to the alarm, conducts an aerial inspection, finds nothing suspicious, and leaves. Antoine is upset that Mercer won't let him join the riot, tries to escape. But Mercer stops him. Mercer tells him, "By fighting each other, we're only destroying our own city." That's exactly what the police want because they don't care about us. The thugs, after deactivating the alarm, kill Joseph. Mercer and Antoine encounter a man terrorizing an innocent couple. Mercer intervenes to help the couple, confronting the attackers and defending them. He's against harming innocent people. Later, they run into white police officers who treat Mercer and Antoine poorly because they're black. Antoine protests, but Mercer stays silent to protect their lives. The thieves blow up the safe and are close to succeeding. Regan goes to prepare the van, and Dennis heads to the restroom. Meanwhile, Mercer and Antoine enter the factory. Antoine goes to the restroom and runs into Dennis. Mercer, after finding Joseph's body, takes his gun and realizes it's a robbery. The thugs notice Mercer and open fire on him. He escapes and searches for Antoine but can't find him. Mercer knocks out one of the thugs and heads to the van, disarming Regan and taking him along. Dennis takes Antoine to his father. Antoine says he was looking for his dad but couldn't find him. Copeland, in immense pain, keeps crying and moaning. The cruel old man, annoyed by Copeland's cries, ruthlessly shoots him several times. Mercer secretly witnesses this scene. The old man lets Antoine go, but immediately recalls him when one of his men reports Regan's disappearance. The old man takes Antoine as a hostage to lure Regan back. Mercer, who has tied up Regan, tells him, "Your father is a coward because he killed his own man, Copeland." Regan recounts the story Mercer witnessed. The thugs head to the van and realize its rotor has been removed, leaving it immobile. As Mercer tries to call for helicopter assistance, one of the thugs ambushes him, and a fierce fight ensues. Mercer endures a brutal beating but manages to kill the thug in the end. The thug's body crashes through the glass ceiling. Regan feels remorse for his ruthless father and seems to no longer align with him. Dennis demands Antoine tell him where his brother is, but Antoine knows nothing. The cruel man uses a microphone to threaten Mercer, pressuring him through Antoine. Scared, Antoine pleads with Mercer to do whatever they say. Regan warns Mercer, "My father has set a trap for you. Antoine has seen everything, and my father never leaves witnesses alive." Mercer asks Regan to help him save his son, and they decide to work together. Dennis loads the platinum into the van, but is shocked to see his brother. The old man immediately draws his gun despite his earlier promise. Mercer quickly pushes Regan aside and shoots at them, hitting Dennis. Mercer, Antoine, Regan, and the injured Dennis get into the van. They all realize their father only cares about money and is willing to sacrifice even his sons for it. The old man, focused solely on the platinum, chases after the van. Dennis, losing too much blood, dies in his brother's arms. After witnessing his beloved brother's death, Regan, filled with hatred for his father, opens the van door to shoot at him. Regan shoots one of the thugs but ends up getting shot himself. Distracted by Regan's injury, Mercer gets into a severe car accident. The old man approaches his sons. He looks at Regan, apologizes for never being a good father, and then mercilessly shoots him. Mercer struggles to get out of the car. The old man notices him and approaches. Blaming Mercer for ruining everything, he points his gun at him. At that moment, Antoine shoots the old man to save his father. Traumatized by committing murder, Antoine collapses into his father's arms. Mercer and Antoine embrace each other and drive away, leaving me to wonder why they didn't take the platinum.